So, welcome to day 4 of your chakra cleanse. We're doing some poses aimed at the heart chakra today, the Anahata chakra, which is located right at the heart, through the body once again. And this is an emerald green color. So you can imagine that swirling energy once again as we move into our poses. Today we're going to be doing a cat pose, we're going to be doing a cobra pose, and a camel pose. We're doing the 3 C's today. And then we'll just move into a forward bend to oppose those back bends. All right, everybody ready? No. So to start us off, we're going to just move into cat. So hands coming to the front of the mat, wrists parallel to the front edge of your mat, pulling the shoulder blades down the back once again, coming into a neutral spine. You're going to think about bracing through your abdominal muscles. And then we're going to just start to lift the belly button toward the ceiling as your head and your sitting bones and tailbone all drop toward the floor. Thinking about a Halloween cat here. If you like, you can start to walk the hands a little closer to the knees and get even rounder through your spine. That's just an option. Take 2 deep breaths right here. And then if you walk the hands in, you're going to bring them back out so they're underneath the shoulders, and we'll move into cow pose. So we're going to this time round the spine the other direction, so you're arching through your spine, pulling back through your shoulders, lifting your gaze, and lifting your sitting bones. Take 2 deep breaths right here. Now we're holding these poses today. You often see these done several times in a row with the breath movement. So you would see a cat pose, and then as your inhale is coming, you move into cow pose, and repeatedly until you feel you've done enough. So from there, we're going to move our knees back. We're going to come down onto the floor. We're going to take our hands forward and move into Sphinx pose, which we did in the last class. Middle fingers are parallel to each other and to the outer edge of your mat. Feet can push right back, so you can have the toes pointing right behind you. If you have any back issues, you can let the feet splay out to the sides. That'll help to relax your low back. We're just starting in Cobra, or in Sphinx pose here, so that we can ready ourselves for the back bend in Cobra. Letting the shoulder blades pull down the back, shoulders move away from the ears, gaze comes forward. Take 2 breaths. And then we're going to release down, move into Makrasana, which we did in the last class several times. Either one side of the face or the forehead, resting on the forearms, feet splaying out to the sides to really relax through that low back. And then we're going to take the elbows and we're going to pull them back along the sides of the body. The hands are going to be just forward of the shoulders. Again, getting those wide fingers. Heels come up from their splayed position, so the toes are pointing straight back. Try again to let go of your buttocks muscles. And then we're going to come forward. So we're thinking about bringing the heart forward as we lift into Cobra. If you need the heels splayed out to the side, once again, please do that. And remember, Cobra is another option for Sphinx pose. So you don't need to come into Cobra. You can have the forearms down. If you want to come deeper into this pose, you lift. Maybe your arms come towards straight. Again, pulling back through the shoulders, maybe lifting the gaze toward the ceiling and breathing. Getting into that heart chakra, really opening through that area, that swirling emerald green energy. Take another breath right there, moving those shoulders away from the ears once again, and then lowering down. Taking your Makrasana one more time, feet splaying out to the sides, maybe moving the hips side to side to relax your low back. And then let's stack the hands one more time and move back into a child's pose. I'd like you to take a closed knee child's pose to get a little more into your low back here. And think about really rounding your spine. Take 2 breaths in Balasana or child's pose. And then we're going to lift up into a seated position. So as we come onto the feet in this way, please remember that this is an optional way to sit. If you have any trouble with your knees, you can always take a block and widen out the feet and sit on a block. That takes a lot of the pressure off the knees right there. Otherwise, as we move into our camel pose, Ustrasana, I'm stumbling over words today, we're lifting up onto our knees. The feet can be in a couple of different positions. You can have the feet so that they are flat on the floor this way, or you can tuck the toes under. It gives you higher heels, essentially, so that you might be able to reach your feet. We're going to keep our hips right over the knees. We're going to open up through our spines, little bit of a push down right at the base of your tailbone. So bracing the abs a little bit here. Hands are going to start out right at the low back. We're going to open the shoulders and chest, and then start to dip the head back, and keeping the hips right over the knees. We're starting to come back. And then, if it feels appropriate for you, you can reach down either to heels or to blocks. So Christine is showing us the option with blocks. Please remember that blocks have 3 heights. So you have various heights you can use on a block. It's not one size fits all. And open your heart, breathing, allowing that heart chakra to open wide. One more breath right here in camel. And then the hands come back onto the back. We start to lift, head comes up last, and then we sit one more time. Sitting in our rock pose, and then we're just going to bring the feet out front. So you can just bring the feet out to one side, shift so you're on your seat, and feet are going to come out. Little bend in those knees. An option even, if you wanted to, is to put blocks under your knees so that you make sure they're staying bent. I want you to get your sitting bone flesh out of the way here. So we do that in one of 2 ways. We either physically move it back, or we just scooch forward, and that'll move it back. Big long spine here. We're thinking about hinging at the hips. We can lift up with the arms, and then over we go. Remember, touching your toes is icing on the cake. It's not necessary. Hands can be anywhere along the legs that feels appropriate for you. If you touch your toes, go for it. If your hands are up like Barb's are right now, also go for it. Doesn't make you a better person. Just means you can touch your toes. Lift long in your spine on every inhalation, thinking about that lengthening through the spine, opening each and every vertebra, and then maybe folding into the pose on every exhalation. The back of the neck is long here. We're looking down toward the feet, or the knees. Take 2 deep breaths. And you can either come up or you can stay right there a little longer. And that's where we'll close today. Thanks so much for joining us.